For going Nomad, aka Pigs on Bikes. Before we set off travelling, I did a review on the EASYACC 20,000 mAh rugged IP67 rated power bank, and I said that after I'd been and used it for a while I'd do a better review and give you some indications how it works or how it performed. And I've got to say, I think it's probably for the money you pay, you know, it's £33 sterling, so something just under, maybe just under $40 at the moment. I've got to say it's pretty good for the money. I'm not saying it's the best one out there, but you know, there's a few there's a few pros and cons with it, but yeah, I really like it. It saved us a whole world of hassle, you know, a couple of times when we were more remote, and you know, off the grid, mains electric grid kind of thing. Places didn't have generators. So anyway, it's IP67 rated, which means that it's fairly rugged. It's you know, you can chuck the thing in a metre of water for half an hour, and you can see inside the cover here. See inside the cover here, it's got this rubber pad that seals this. Now, this is one of the things that I'm not particularly keen on, and that's that the cover is quite tricky to do back up. But you know, particularly tricky one-handed whilst you're trying to hold a camera. But you know, it's probably really. The other thing that lets it down a little bit is that it doesn't allow through charging. So it means that you can't charge it and run a cable out of it to charge something else at the same time. So that means that you need two sockets, or you need a charger with two sockets on the actual charger itself, so you can run two leads off the charger, so you can charge this and you can also charge your phone. Whereas if it allowed through charging, then you could just plug this into your charger and then another lead into this and charge your phone like that. So that's probably the only other disadvantage that I can see with it. Okay, yeah, there is another one actually. It weighs 468 grams, so it's it's nearly half a kilo. But I don't think that's too much. I don't think that's too much of a problem. I mean, it survived being in being in my little day bag all the way through India and Myanmar, Bangladesh, Cambodia, and it's been with me to work. It's been when I was in England, I used to take it to work because I used to work out on site, so it's handy for charging your camera and your mobile phone and things like that. So why it's really good, why I really like it, is it's 20,000 mAh, right? So it's got enough power in it to charge iPhone 6 about 7 times, Galaxy S6 about 6 times. I've got a Samsung 7-inch Samsung tablet, an old tablet that I've bought with me, and it charges that 3 times, plus it charges my mobile phone. I've only got a cheap Motorola. This is what I'm filming on now. It's only a cheap Motorola. It was only 80 quid second hand before I left England. Cheap Motorola. It charges that probably 8 or 9 or 10 times really. So it's really easy to use. You can see the 2 connections in there. This connection here is 2.4 amps out, and this one is 1.5 amps out, 5 volts of course, and you've got a 2 amp micro USB there for charging it. So it's straightforward to use. You just plug it in, and then the on button is here, and when you turn it on, the lights come on, and the lights are power indicators. So whilst it's discharging, this is 100% charged, 75, 50, 25, and then when this flashes it's lower than 25, and it's probably not got enough in it to charge too much. When you're charging the power bank itself, you plug it in, and these work in reverse. So this will flash whilst it's charging, and then once it's hit 25%, up to 50%, it auto powers off, by the way, which is what it's just done there. 50% charging, 75% charging, and when it's between 75 and 100%, this one will flash, and when it's reached 100%, it will stay on like that. So you can see this is 100% charged now, and I generally like to keep it 100% charged because, you know, we live in Cambodia, and you never know when you're going to have a power cut. So the good thing about this is that it's got a built-in light, right? And the light, if I can get it to turn on, because I've now pressed the button twice. Oh, that's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Ah, there we go. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty bright, you know. Yeah, it's bright enough so you can stand it. You can stand it on its edge like that, point it at the ceiling, and then sit next to it and read a book without pointing this at the actual book. You don't need to. It's bright enough to light a room up. And we were out in Bangladesh, in the south end of Bangladesh, in St Martin's Island, and we didn't have any electricity. They turned the generator off at like 10 o'clock at night, and no aircon, because they turned the generator off, it turned the fan off as well. So I used one of those little plug-in, hang on, I'll go and get it, hang on, I'll show you. Sorry, yeah, there we go. A little USB fan, and it was actually surprisingly welcome, if you like, you know. And having even a small fan when you're at 30 odd degrees, high humidity, and trying to sleep, even having a little thing like this just brings a little bit more comfort. Now, I've tested this after we did it just to see how long it'd last, and it lasted easily a whole night with the fan on and the light, you see. And the light also, if you press it enough times, it flashes like this. So this 6 flashes of the international distress signal, and I think that if I press it again, yeah, it now does SOS in Morse code as well. So it's handy to have if you're outside, you know, if you're trekking or mountaineering maybe, or rock climbing or something like that, out in the hills, out on a boat or something like that. You know, it's really useful, really good bit of kit. It takes, on a 2 amp, it doesn't fast charge, but on a 2 amp charger it takes about 12 hours for it to charge fully, from completely and utterly empty, where it won't even run the fan at all. It takes about 12 hours. That's on a 2 amp charger. You have to bear in mind though that if you try and charge it off a USB on a computer, sometimes a computer only pushes out about half an amp, so it could take ages to charge. So my recommendation, if you buy this, is to buy a decent charger. Buy a high rated charger, 2.4 amp charger, and it's worth it, because you'll charge one of these in less than 12 hours. And then, you know, I have thrown this on the floor and dropped it, and I haven't thrown it in a puddle yet, but no doubt that will happen. Shockproof, dustproof, IP67 rated, so you know it's pretty good. You can see it's robust. Yeah, is it the best one out there? No, I don't think it is. I don't think it's the best one out there. I think, is it good value for money for 40 bucks, less than 40 bucks? Yeah, I think it is. Do I think this is good value for money for $1? I think, yeah, that's really good value for money. I recommend you buy one of these as well. Really useful, really good on buses, planes, you know, trains, trying to sleep when they've got no aircon or fan. anything. Yeah, really good. Anyway, cool. Andy here, Going Nomad. Like, share, subscribe, and email me at goingnomad123@gmail.com. And take care out there. Stay safe. Bye.